Obstürmt oder steigt, ob die Sonne uns sagt, der Tag ist heiß oder eiskalt die Nacht.
Achtung!
Erstaunt sind wir sie, doch wohl ist unser Sinn, ja unser Sinn. Es braucht unser Panzer im Sturm wild dahin.
Hey guys, Loftinger here as always, and you knew this video was coming, me and my huge obsession towards World War II German weaponry. I had to make a video featuring the brand new armor edition in Heroes and Generals, the Panther. Heavily influenced by the Soviet T-34 design, this tank is often referred as the best armored unit Germany had during the war. Now the word best is a tricky one for sure, it all depends on what kind of perspective you're judging from, but it's true the Panther was both heavily armed and protected while also keeping its production cost relatively cheap, only 1/3 of what it took to build a Tiger. So there's no wonder why Panther was heavily requested from Heroes and Generals community, and with the Bauer update, we finally get to fiddle around with this beast. However, the question is, of course, how this tank actually performs in-game, and is it really worth investing your money on? Short answer from me is yes, 100% recommended, but we'll talk about that in detail in just a minute. I'm currently playing on my personal favorite map, the Forward Airfield. Me and my friend Yuz are both on board the same Panther, and we just finished supporting infantries closing the sea line. On the other front, our team is calling for armor support, and this turned out to be one of the biggest T-34 hunting season I've ever came across. 15 tanks destroyed in a single game. I believe I helped 5 or so assist kill them as well. The Soviet tanks just never learned or gave up on crossing the river. Let's first take a look at Panther's equipment. It has 7.5cm Kampfwagenkanone 42, and while this is the same caliber as the gun mounted on Hetzer, the penetration, damage, as well as shield trajectory is highly improved. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but from my past experience using the APCR, I could penetrate the front of all allied medium tanks except for the T-34-85's turret. Combine this with decent reload rate as well as overwhelming amount of ammunition it has, you really can't ask more for its offensive capability. The tank also comes with 2 low RPM MG34 each on front and the turret, but they seemed quite inaccurate compared to what I used to see on other German tanks, so I wouldn't rely on it too much. Moving on to the armor, which is probably the biggest advantage of a Panther, grants you near frontal immunity against AP rounds of similar caliber. 110mm on the turret, 80mm on the front of the chassis, combined with sloped armor which German kind of stole, or rather say got inspired from the Soviets, often deflects shots even if your enemy is using tier 2 armor piercing round. Now, as I said before, it's not 100% safe even when you are faced front. I especially found the Su-85 with the brand new APCR to be quite a threat, but it's definitely a huge leap from Panzer III or IV. Side and rear of the tank is not as heavily armed, but base armor of 40mm thickness is going to come in handy when dealing with PTRD. I watched other guy making a video examining PTRD's penetration capability on the Panther, and it can penetrate the side lower end of the chassis, but it seems to be only effective from 90 degrees angle from relatively close distance, or of course if he gets on top of your turret, he has no problem penetrating your top armor. And by the way, this was probably my first ever engagement with 2 Hellcats aiming at me, yet still managing to stay alive. Armor protection alone is a good enough reason to purchase the Panther. But the list of goodies does not end here. One final compliment I have for the Panther is its great mobility. It's fast, faster than Easy 8, and it also has a great engine torque. It's kind of hard to explain what torque is, especially when I slept in most of my physics class, but to give you guys a perfect example of a tank with poor torque would be the Hetzer. Hetzer, as we all know, has very low performance when climbing up the hill, and it also has tendency to slip and slide down sloped ground. On the other hand, Panther has that grip required to maneuver through rough terrain, as well as speed necessary to go over obstacles. This might not seem important for some of you, but it actually is extremely handy when trying to flank over mountains and making shots in awkward stances. I really don't have anything negative to say about this tank, which is rare considering the fact that I tend to complain a lot. It's expensive, sure, located in 10th rank of Armored Assault Ribbon, but it's worth every penny and effort to get the Panther. I was really surprised to see people asking for buff on Panther on the forum, but I'm pretty sure this is as good as it gets. If not, we might be facing nerf instead. Anyways, this is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.